Greetings, you fellow sane people, simply taking a break from it, and welcome back to Kingdoms and Castles with me, Lathrix, and of course, welcome to what is going to be a monumental task. Today, I'm going to begin the recording of a full playthrough of what is honestly one of my favourite games I've ever covered on the channel. It is cute, it's adorable, it's really addictive, and takes so many hours to get anything really done, and yep, for the next week or so, this is going to be my life, so I really do hope you enjoy this video, because it's going to be so much fun to record. Today, we begin our glorious empire, trying to thrive in this land while fending off dragons and Vikings and everything else, whilst also checking out the new update, which is the infrastructure and industry. Well, I say new, I think it was July it was released. Either way, new stuff's been added. I haven't played for a very long time, and we're finally going to get to the very end of this game, building the ultimate buildings. So, let's begin. So we're going to be playing this full playthrough on hard mode. Now apparently there's also a survival mode. I don't know when that was added, but that's not gonna be for today. Maybe in the future, because this one seems pretty extreme and like a special video type of thing. This is gonna still be difficult enough, but it's not gonna drive me utterly insane. The Kingdom of Utopia, with the black hole on its side as our image, which I did before, even though it looks like a Magic the Gathering thing. Because I just like it. So, do we want to go with this? Or do we want to go for something a little bit bigger? I'm thinking, let's go with a large size map. Islands are cool. No, let's go with random and random for everything else. Yep, let's just redo that. Okay, so it's just one major island. No, I think I'd like islands. The map, which will start off our adventure. 4 islands, each taking up a corner of the map, loads of fish around, and we're going to be starting off on this island over here. We're also setting up the AI kingdoms as random. That means there can be between 0 and 3 of them, and they will have random difficulty, either easy, medium, or hard. And we're choosing this island because loads of stone, just about enough fish, and also a witch's hut, in addition to lots of fertile land. Honestly, it just seems like a really good island, except for not enough iron. So that's something we'll have to sort out later, perhaps through trade, or through war. Okay, so I've put down our keep all the way over here in the corner. Now, this is a bit of a weird position, I admit, but I think it will look really good in the future. Having this section over here as the keep with all the gardens and everything else, all the expensive buildings, then we can have our farmland, we can have our quarries, we can expand outwards, just keeping this corner nice and prosperous. For the time being, though, we need resources right now, so please cut down all of these trees, start putting down a simple road heading into the fertile land over there. And then once you've done both of those, we can put down our first hovels, so that people actually have somewhere to live, because right now they're going to be very unhappy. Yeah, we're trending towards 45 happiness. We are, our health is at 50, so they're not going to die instantly, but not much protection against plague and everything else. And that's pretty much it for the time being. Just make sure everyone has a house. For now, I'll just put them right next to the keep. Then we'll sort out food, then we'll sort out a forester, then we'll sort out our first quarry, which I guess will be the one over here. Our first winter, we don't have any charcoal, but at least people have their hovels. Oh, also no fresh water, yeah, we need to build a well. So we're going to have 2 farms and 1 orchard for the time being. The orchard takes a bit longer to get going, I think, but having the food variety is a big deal. More happiness, more health. Then later on we'll swap to things like bread and pigs and fish and everything else. Make sure our food is our top priority for the time being. Building a road over here because we do want our stone as fast as possible. Once we have stone, then we start building all the better stuff. I mean, honestly, there's a lot of better stuff. We need the windmills, we need the actual taxes in order to afford the lighter buildings. There's lots and lots of stuff we need. That should be enough food, right? I feel like we're going to have 1 harsh year and then it'll be okay. I think. And I also want 1 more hovel. Let's start attracting some new people. Hey everyone, Future Lathrix here, as is tradition with these 4 playthroughs, just here to say that this was one of the best 3 days I've spent just gaming in a long time. Kingdoms and Castles is an absolute favourite of mine. It's relaxing, it's chill, but then also tense during the attacks, and I feel like we did a decent job throughout this run, and you'll see by the end, some things have gone really right, and some things did go a little bit off. I will be considering doing another run of this in the future with the hardest game mode, and perhaps very, very difficult enemies, but that will depend on if people actually want to see more Kingdoms kingdoms and castles. So if you would, then likes and comments help out so much. These full playthroughs are poison to the algorithm, but I absolutely love making them, and that interaction lets me keep on doing the videos I love producing. So with that, I hope you have a lovely time in our newest kingdom. We had our first harvest, and 66% of our population now have access to fruits, and everyone has access to wheat and bread, which means our health is increasing, lowering the odds of plague. Okay, not fully staffed, that's fine. As soon as we have enough stone, we'll build a stockpile, otherwise, yeah, they have to run all the way back every single time they grab a single piece of stone, which is really, really inefficient. We now have 15 people, and we've just built a new house. Oh good, this is an empty cave. For a second, I was really worried that all of our trees are infested by wolves. Almost all of them are, but this one isn't next to the witch's hut, which we're going to just keep asleep for the time being. But that's what we need next. We need a forester, because not only will a forester automatically get us wood, they'll also replant the trees. Okay, don't want to go through the fertile land that much. That there, and the forester will go here. Which I think will be far enough away that these wolves won't attack them. Okay, things are looking pretty good, actually, on year 4. Okay, we have the forester, however, we do need it to be fully staffed. It needs a full staff in order to replant. So, job priority, timber workers are now going to be top. Then farmers, then builders, then everything else. We're also going to need more farms soon. We are currently gaining food at a decent pace, honestly. But we're also adding a lot more houses, and these houses mean a lot more people are going to start moving in. Yep, 4 people. Oh no, none of them found a home. Wow, we really need to build these houses faster, please. Yeah, we've all 4 of those. That's a lot of wood we're collecting. And as soon as we have some more stone, we'll build a stockpile there. Things are looking good. Then we can build the charcoal maker, so everyone can actually be warm during the winter and not cold, so more happiness. Okay, we have good health at the moment, so a low chance of plague. Ah, no one at the stockpile yet either. Yeah, we need to sort some of these job priorities out. We are now a small village. Congratulations, UTOPIA. So, building the stockpile, we're building a well, so this area is less prone to fires, and also if there is a fire, they can be put out. So next, we need protection. So the ballista tower requires gold, which we currently aren't generating, and also needs the chamber of war, which is very expensive. Archer towers also take gold. Okay, I didn't know that. That's my problem. So what I need next then is the treasure room. So just keep on building stuff lightly, but save up stone. Because we need to start taxing the poor. Oh dear, in 1 year's time a dragon is going to attack. There is no way we're defending against that, which means we are going to lose stuff. As soon as I can save up for a well, I'll put one near the forester as well, since I do want charcoal production down here eventually. How did I build that one house wrong? Hovel, you are now called Mistake. Well done. Our least favourite people get to live there. So this will be the last bit of stone I spend for now. Then we're going to save up. A dragon has been sighted. Well, if we're lucky, they won't go for us, they'll go for... In fact, the dragon will help us to see if there are other empires. It only attacks other empires' buildings, well, empire buildings in general. So if it suddenly stops, it means there's another empire on one of these islands. Okay, skip this one. Where's it going? So, I know for a fact now there's definitely an empire here. Not only is the dragon heading directly towards it, if we go over here we have unknown land with nothing there. Over here, unknown land with an opinion and a relationship status of us. How about this one? Is that just the same one or is it different? Well, there's either just one large empire here or 2 separate empires. So I wonder... Oh, yeah, look, you can even see the arrows. Wow, the fog of war is not as good as I first thought. Also worrying, this empire's managed to get all of the defences sorted, and we haven't. Oh no, it scared it off. Which means eventually it's probably going to head towards us. The dragon was scared off by the other 2 empires. We were thankfully spared its wrath. Putting down a secondary quarry. We now have 37 people. And yeah, looks like our food is still doing pretty well. 3 more people have just found homes. We have a total of 60 potential living spaces. Okay, with the 2 quarries up, now we can finally build ourselves the treasure room. Which I guess for now I'll just put here. Eventually I'll be remaking this area for our richer section, but for now, let's just keep it all nice and close together. Right, actually, where is the front of that? I never can figure out the front of some of these buildings. Oh, is that the door there? Okay, that's the door. It's a double door. Interesting. I'm gonna have it spaced out by 1, I think, rather than actually attached. Though attached does look pretty cool. You know what? I am gonna attach it. Let's go there. Time to start collecting some gold. Behold what the villagers want more than anything else. A tavern. They had minus happiness because I wasn't building one. Still haven't collected any gold yet. Oh, it's yearly. Okay, so soon I'll get a big lump of it, I suppose. No, I thought you just got gold passively. Yeah, we have all 5 workers. You're doing nothing, apparently. Why am I not collecting gold? Oh, now I am. 1. Oh, it just takes a long time. Okay, I've raised the taxes to 20%. That's minus 7 happiness for everyone being taxed. The tavern, however, is increasing happiness by 8. Water by 5, has road access, has neighbours, and now has charcoal. Brilliant! Actually, has a lot of happiness. As soon as I have 20 gold, I'll put down our first archer tower there, which I think will automatically attack these wolves. Then I want some fish. Ooh, I can build that now. Nope, first the archer tower. Let's clear this space up so I have enough wood to actually keep expanding. This game is so charming. Oh, I didn't even see it happen, but the wolves have been removed, and now we have a weird choice to make. With our archers, if they have got the job, they will slowly raise their skill. That makes them stronger, obviously. But they can't do anything else in the village, and that is 2 people just not helping out with a lot of stuff I want to do to build up before scarier things attack. So I could simply toggle them off, and then only toggle them on when we're under attack. That saves a lot of people in the long run, but for now, I do think I would rather have more skilled soldiers, so you can just stay there and slowly level up. And now I can do what I wanted to do for a while, build our fishing hut. Eventually I'd want one over here. Oh, I can't reach over there. Well, this island isn't taken by anyone, so hopefully we can get there before our neighbours. There's quite a bit of fish over here, I guess. Maybe this corner here? Yeah, it captures a lot from the right as well. Sure. One more type of food means more health. We're now fishing and building up our second defense tower. I want 1 more over here, and then our core is safe. The quarries are pretty much on their own. You know what, I really should build at least a well, and then I'll build a clinic. The clinic will make sure if we do have plague, we don't lose everyone, because at the moment I think I would quite legitimately lose absolutely everyone. So stuff for libraries, lots of stuff we want. 5% of our people now have access to fish or pork. And we are completely full again for people, which is fine, because right now I kind of want to sort out our food. So now we need to be more efficient. Building windmills will make our farms way more efficient. So if you put one here, we could have the full 6 around it. No, the full 8 around it. That's what's next. Yeah, this one fishing hut is nowhere near enough fish to feed everyone fish, but any coverage at all will help. We also now have the clinic active. Oh, that's neat. So this archer tower, now it's very skilled. You can actually see the damage per second's increased, and also there's little golden trim. One thing I didn't consider, however, is that soldiers also require funds. They actually have a proper wage. Not everything has that, but our clinic does, and our archers do. I might turn off the clinic until it's needed. I don't think they actually increase health and everything else until they're actually being used. It just means they won't be as fast to respond because they'll have to get their change into those new jobs and then get to the plague victims. But what that does mean is, though, a lot more money for me. And thus I can help more people. I'm the good guy here. The dragon has arrived once again, but we have 3 archer towers. Oh, yeah, I forgot the main building can also fire. Maybe that's what I saw from our neighbouring empire. Oh, ballistas would be a lot stronger, but we didn't have the resources to do that, but at least we've done enough damage to scare it off. That was bad, but it could have been a lot worse. Yeah, all we ended up losing was 1 hovel and 2 farms. We're currently building our first windmill, which increased the power of all these farms, and now we definitely have a nice, stable little region. So it's time to look for more expansive ideas. So if we take a look-see over here, we have things, no, over here, sorry, like the Chamber of War, which will allow us to build our minions, like actual soldiers and archers and everything else, so that will require iron. Where is the iron on this map? Down here. So that's not what we're going to do right now, but what we could do is do the Hall of Diplomacy, which means we can train diplomat. And then all we need is one of the boats, and we can take our people and find our neighbours. The Exploration Ship. Right-click to sail to an unexplored island. If the island is unoccupied, the exploration ship can establish a new colony. The merchant ship, which is pretty fantastic. We do need one of these docks to start doing all the merchant stuff. And then the transport ship. Cargo ship is between our docks. Okay. So which one do I need for the diplomats then? I'm guessing the transport ship, right? Ah. Vikings. Ignoring us, going for the other island. Ooh, those are definitely different ships to what I remember. No, they're both merchant ships. Ah, that means the other 2 have docks. Am I behind the other 2 empires? Okay, the actual Vikings are also ignoring us. Good. Some pirates have made landfall on our island. Archer towers are pretty good versus Vikings, but yeah, they're going to burn down our quarries, I think, first. I'm currently building a church. Well, a chapel for our people. Oh, I just thought the chapel has the same effect as the tavern, doesn't it? Things nearby get a bonus. Oh, but I wanted it over here, next to the graveyard and everything. Look more, dunno, right. Wow. So the fully skilled up archer tower just utterly obliterated some of the Vikings. Well done to us. Proud of our troops' valiant efforts in combat. We have built our first proper dock. This will allow us to get the transport ships occasionally for us to buy and sell from. We also have a chapel, which I now realise I've placed very badly. The reason is the chapel also increases happiness of those around it, similar to the tavern, but I wanted it over here next to the graveyards because it just fit better and didn't really need that. Still need more fish or pork, and we're also lower on wheat, but our first windmill is now up, so all of these are now producing an additional 3 to their food. Which will stack with this windmill, so I think this one will get +6. We'll check soon. Our first manor is up, and next to it we have a cottage, just to make sure they actually get some happiness from having neighbours. We're building a large charcoal maker, which will replace our single charcoal maker, and I think I might be able to squeeze out 1 more forester here on this side, since we still have a wolf problem towards the east. Okay, we don't need this one now. For the time being, remove that. That should produce enough. That should be a lot of charcoal. A few of our houses didn't have charcoal, now that should solve everything. Ooh, do we get a merchant? Hello, merchant. Ah, sadly nothing special. Sometimes I'll offer you a special item, which isn't just the standard stuff. At the moment, there's not really all that much I want, to be completely honest. Later on, though I guess we will want weapons. But they're very expensive. We don't really have the money for it at the moment. What we need to start doing is figuring out something for us to sell. I think with this island, stone. We have 3 stone deposits. Now, admittedly, they're not easy to harvest at the moment because of how annoyingly they're placed. But we should eventually be able to build the larger one, can't we? The large quarry, yeah. That wasn't in the game last time I played. And that does require tools, which means we need iron. But yeah, I think in the future, selling stone is probably going to be our main source of economy because they're worth 2 each, and we should be able to get a decent excess. Let's just buy as many of these as we can. Oh, I was incorrect. So the windmill doesn't stack, so that's definitely placed wrong then. Okay, I'll solve that the next time I start doing more stuff. For now then, that is definitely not worth being open. We already have enough food. A diplomat from a foreign nation is about to make contact. Soldier skill 99%. How'd you get them at 100% then? I'm guessing you just can't. We also need a mason so we can start healing these things up. The theatre, jousting arena, cathedral, giant library. These are all the end goals of this run. For now, I just want to survive all the different attacks and just keep growing. Hello, diplomat. We have a message from the ruler. A King Baraza? Probably pronouncing that wrong, but either way. Yes, go on. Ah, you're from a neighbouring kingdom, a peaceful kingdom, we hope. Indeed, we have much to talk about. Okay, good, so we have at least one peaceful neighbour. This concludes our ruler's message. Literally just, hi. We thank your highness for your time. You're welcome. Goodbye. Okay, I wonder which of the 2 islands that was. It was this one, wasn't it? Oh, yeah, we can actually see it more. No, we can't. But okay, it's definitely them. Relationship status neutral, and opinion is favourable. Ooh, we are now a burgeoning town since we have 100 people. Okay, we have the other ruler now also making contact with us. We're from a nearby kingdom. Just stay out of our way and we can remain at peace. Agreed, let's keep the peace. Okay, so we have 1 warmonger, or at least isolationist, and then we have 1 peaceful empire. I've increased how much stone we're going to be producing because that is definitely why I'm going to start selling a lot more. I'm also probably going to move the dock over here. So what I need next, really what I would really want is just some ballista. Having a ballista tower or 2 would be so helpful. Because that can stop dragons. These are good versus Vikings, the ballista are good versus dragons, and the Vikings ogres will eventually bring. Oh yeah, fire brigade, probably need that as well. There's so much more than the last time I played. I think the fire brigade was just added last time I played, but I didn't really think about it. Now building the Chamber of War, which has made the keep look a lot more impressive. It made it grow in size. There are now some Vikings, however. We just sold a load of stone and bought some tools and weapons. Here's hoping the Vikings will attack our neighbours and less us. Starting to replace some of the dirt roads with stone roads, which will increase the speed of movement, which is really good, because at the moment the charcoal's taking way too long to get to places. Lovely. Yeah, turns out fully upgraded soldiers, pretty deadly. Sure, it's taking a lot of my gold to keep them employed, but the Vikings kind of melt. Oh, please put out that, we're gonna lose it, because we don't have a stonemason still. Never mind. What actually is the stonemason? I think it requires tools, which is the main problem with it, to be completely honest. There we are, the mason. Oh no, it doesn't say it requires tools. Okay, yeah, we definitely need to build a mason then. Hello again, Kingy. Uh-huh. Oh, I literally have no troops. Well, I apologise for that, but literally don't have troops yet. We will soon, but not yet. Here comes the dragon, so once again we just have the archers, which will at least scare it off. We're also putting down some stone walls here, so that's where the first of our ballista will go. So far, only 2 people have died in the history of our empire, and both of them to dragon attacks. Our first ballista tower is now active, and in the meantime, sadly a plague did sweep through our people, killing 18 of our peasants. I activated the clinic as fast as I could, but yep, we had to build a brand new cemetery for them. On the upside, the ballista tower is clearing out all these wolves. It's almost about time we start moving some of this stuff away from the centre and building outwards so we can start reinforcing sections. It's all just a cluster at the moment. Have you seen those dragons? Yes. Oh, you didn't like that. I directed my top ministers to try and find out a way to capture a dragon. I want to use them in battle, of course. I would be unstoppable with dragons at my disposal. Unfortunately, my ministers tell me this is impossible. Perhaps in another life. Truly a glorious dream. That concludes our rules message. Why tell me that? We have tiny little pigs. Our first swineherd. So this will consume wheat and then produce pork. Not very efficiently, mind you, but it will make people happier and healthier. Fish and pork are obviously a lot more difficult to get than the other two, and I really want them to be as healthy as possible. Currently, chance of plague is low, life expectancy is high, and plague doesn't spread very fast. But I want it to just not happen again. Meanwhile, I'm trying to build this up completely before the Vikings or dragon attack next. Then I'm going to have 3 ballista tower. That's going to be our protection for a long time, and after that we can start funding things like a mobile military, building walls, building more economy, all the other good stuff. Oh, don't ask for bread. We don't have any bread. Yeah, we love bread too. What's my favourite food? Also bread! That's an easy option. That's it, just... So one empire's like, I want to capture a dragon but I can't. Wouldn't that be fun? And the other one's just, I like bread. That was it. Sure. Okay, we just got our first little bits of pork. Seems like our pigs are now, yep, ready for the slaughter. More health for our people, more variety in their foods. 1 year until the Vikings attack. How much is this costing us? So we have 3 ballista there. I do kind of want 4. And that'll protect all of our core stuff, the more expensive stuff. Yeah, ballista aren't the best versus pirates, since, Vikings, because they can only kill 1 at a time, but even so. Means if they ever bring the ogres, or what is that? Oh, it's just a big group of them. For a second I thought it was like a siege weapon. Still didn't build the mason. Lathrix, build it right now, before you do anything else. There's now a mason. Okay. Huh. No. I think you'll change your mind. No, I think I won't. We are building an archer school. I have been amassing as many sets of weapons and armaments as possible from every single merchant ship. We can now start building our military, and I find archers more fun than the regular foot soldiers, so we're going to have lots of them. Do I want it there, or do I want it slightly off to the side? You know what? I'm going to be really annoying about this, and I would like the archer school to be there. We are now producing iron. Ooh, we need more stockpiles. I was not paying attention. Okay. Let's build a major stockpile here. And then you... please only iron, nothing else. We also have way too much charcoal, so I'm going to start trying to sell that. Church or library? Sure. Oh, I guess things are too busy. In that case, I'll build a library next, since we already have a church. I'll build it over here in the rich section. Now, you are too close to things, right? Yes. Knew that was going to be the case, but I just wanted the house here anyway, so too bad. You're the least happy manor we have. Go on. Yes. Yes. Oh, okay. Yep, that's fine. Good idea. You are very up and down with your personality, aren't you? Well, either way, I'm now training archers. Our first soldier group is now complete. Lovely. For now, just stand here so I actually know where you are. That'd be great. Replacing the swine with a town square for now. Then I'll put a new tavern here soon. Then that should please everyone. The library's going here because it's capturing the most, and you know, money and books, they go hand in hand apparently. So that should make our people a lot happier so we can get more people here. A lot of people are refusing to move here because I've not been the best at, you know, keeping them happy. Which is fair. Oh, when there's a storm, fishing boats don't go out. I mean, it makes sense. I just didn't think the game would actually take that into account. A Viking ship has been struck by lightning and sunk. Didn't think that was going to be a thing. Oh, the archers actually ran up to the enemy. That's interesting. Ooh, different stances. We'll move and attack enemies on the same island. We'll move towards enemies within 10 tiles. Okay, yeah. Let's stick with that. Go archers. Also built some piers over here so we can start getting some more fishing boats along our borders. Hospitals/clinics are too crowded and not operating. Make sure they are staffed or build more. Okay, we need a new clinic. Maybe I should go into charcoal. That thing is expensive. Special item costs more than we can even store at the moment, so that's definitely for the late game. Improves construction techniques, reduces construction costs by 10% for wood and 5% for stone. I would love that, but no, not just yet. Once again, I will buy some more armaments though. And, oh no, there's no fish and no meat. Well, I was going to buy those as well, but sadly not available. Ah, that gave us a gift. What a lovely king you are. Now, all that gold we made recently from selling all that charcoal, I am now upgrading pretty much all of our roads. In fact, no, I'm finally out of stone. Well, most of our roads are now going to be stone roads, so people are going to be moving around a lot faster. I really want to increase our population, so new farm section here. Farms can go all the way down there, along with a new produce storage. Over here, we're going to have 2 swine herds. Let's get some pork, let's get way more wheat, and then we can finally start building tools. We now have iron. We're going to get way more iron soon, which means we can do all the more advanced stuff, like getting more stone. Trying to be more strategic, because honestly, up until this point, I think I've just kept placing things I like the look of. It's time for war. Never. Such disrespect. This is war. Excellent. I'm organizing a festival of war. Also, as soon as I can, try more archers. We're gonna need lots. Through the festival, that should increase everyone's happiness in range, is it? Or is it just everyone's happiness full stop? Plus 15 from recent festivals, good. The plague also hit us, but thankfully this time with our 2 clinics, 0 deaths. How are you out of charcoal? There's so much charcoal. Oh, I know what I need to do. If we put a market around here, that means charcoal can be brought to there, and then the homeowners here can just grab it a lot easier. I just didn't think that'd be a problem at that distance, especially since charcoal's been stored kind of everywhere because we have such an excess. Dragon flesh. So far, despite the other empire over here hating me, they haven't attacked me yet. Which is interesting. Okay, so... you want to buy stuff from us, and you want us to buy stuff from you, essentially a trade offer. You know what? Charcoal and stone are the two things we're going to be selling. Everything else will sell for normal prices, or even a little bit cheap. How about that? So these are the normal merchant prices. So I am kind of being a bit mean on quite a few of these. Let's go like that. Charcoal's a big one for us. Excellent. Now let's see your prices. I didn't even see them. Sure. Oh, wait. For our merchants to arrive at your docks. Sure. To sell us resources, build your own merchant ship, and then set up a route to visit our docks. We have set up a trade deal with the king, so now occasionally he'll send his merchant ships and we can buy from him. Now to sell our wares, we have to make our own merchant ship. But at the moment, we can just buy his stuff. Which will be tools and, weapons, really. What now? Are you? No. You're going to have a really strong invasion force to beat us. Not really because we have that much forces, but it will be your forces versus our defenses and our forces. Just in case, more archers, please. Thankfully, our people are very healthy, so that plague did nothing. Finally building our blacksmith, which will enable us to build tools and armaments. I'm going to build storage for it in here, and I'm also going to completely wall this section off. The reason for that is that this is all going to be very valuable stuff. I don't want the Vikings burning it down, and I don't want dragons burning it down, and I don't want the enemy burning it down, so it's going to have its own protection. Ooh, those are enemy archers. Well, actually, enemy everything. Move it! Where are they going? Well, that was just rude. Yet incredibly inefficient. Lost a couple of people, though, which was very mean. Proud of our troops, though, so overall, happy. Oh, look at that. 88% of our people have meat, everyone has fruit, everyone has wheat. Next, we'll start making some bread. Now we'll start making some tools. Oh, we managed to sink the enemy ship. Wonderful. Okay, anyone who's lost people, I want you to recuperate, please. Which is actually quite a lot of you. Increasing our taxes for a short period of time because of the war efforts. So, ooh, 2 dragons. Just normal size? Oh no, one of them's one of the bigger ones. That's very concerning and why I need ballistas everywhere. Either way, I am making a gift currently as well to our other neighbour, so finally I have a diplomat. Making the gift for them, it's just to build a cottage, so a little bit of stone, a little bit of wood, and I'm also building our first transport vessel. We could send some archers against our enemy and see how they like it. Very tempted. Come on, get closer to the ballista, you are so close to being in range. Or just do nothing. Sure. Ah, so kiting is definitely something you can do with archers. That's wonderful. Let's clear out these wolves. Okay, so what I need to do is I'm going to move all of my forestry industry over here, and this is going to become our new farming area. Food is becoming difficult. I can now buy the special item, and it's the same one as before. So now I've purchased that, everything I build will be a bit cheaper. A baker takes wheat and charcoal and turns it into breads. Stores the breads until it is eaten. Okay, so I guess I'll put one here. And then we'll put down a small market or... Yeah, put down a small market because they're better at actually moving stuff around there. That will store mostly charcoal, and I'll also put down a small market over here as well. I'm currently building a well, and that's going to replace this one. Ta-da! And then that's also going to be a small market just for moving food around. Because one of the issues I'm seeing is just because the food is so far away, whenever there's even a slight scarcity, suddenly there's major problems. Now that I'm producing tools, I can start building these. These are the rock removals. Once I've done all that, I can start building the large quarries. Massively increasing how much resource I'm getting. For now, I'd like to buy some meat and fruit from you. Okay, I've placed the baker in the wrong place. So the baker will hold the loaves of bread. I even said that out loud. What I didn't realise was it doesn't then move the bread anywhere else. It sells the bread itself, which means what we want to do is build that near this small market. Which is completely packed at the moment. Ah, right. Need to rethink that market then. Maybe I'll put the market down here and then the baker's next to it. Or we could build, you know what? These bits of housing are probably going to extend anyway, so why don't I build a large market here? And then that can supply all of these, and then I'll build the bakers next to that. Turns out I've been building wrong this entire time. Only the granaries can hold wheat. I thought the produce ones here could also store wheat. No, it will only store fruit. So the reason why I keep on having food issues is because I don't have enough storage for my food. Hello, new friend. Oh, not that again. No, not this time. I helped last time. So next to the market, we now have our baker, but also we have a fishmonger. The fishmonger will grab food from the fishing huts. Up until now, our poor homeowners had to simply run to the fishing huts, and will also produce more fish if tools are available. Through the power of magic. Our large quarry is being built. I'm now realising that this quarry over here is so close I won't be able to build a large quarry on it. So no tools available currently, they'll quickly grab the tools, and I'll make it easier for them in a moment. So that looks really nice. That should hopefully produce way more stone for us. Now, the next thing we need to do is we need to build that bathhouse. I'm currently building all of the aqueducts. I'm splitting it off, one going over here to irrigate our farms, one going towards the bathhouse. And the bathhouse, thankfully, can apparently treat the whole kingdom. Look at the area of effect that has. Which is good, because I now want to start splitting off our empire into multiple parts. I don't know how I'm going to do that, because I've built everything as one giant clump. It's like a sprawling metropolis at the moment, rather than all nice and spread out like our neighbours is. I mean, look how cute this is! Oh, and the gardens as well, there's loads I need to do. I think that's the point I'm at now. I'm going to start to really work on the looks of things. Really need our defences to get better now. One of the dragons attacked and set light to pretty much everything. Soon there are going to be a lot more of the larger dragons. Also, incoming more of the Vikings. Everything happening all at once right now. The bathhouses are too crowded. Well, yeah, because it's not actually connected yet. Maybe that could be the problem you're currently experiencing. So I think once that's done, it should work straight away. I'm hoping. Oh, these Vikings from another attack. A few already did land. Okay. Making like a little mini fortress here, which is going to be the bathhouse and some other more extravagant things. Then I'm going to try and split things off a bit more so I have space between them. At the moment, it's still far too cluttered. Okay, looks like we're pretty safe. Nope, one more dragon. Ooh, you're a new one. Blue, I think. It looks like it's faster, but maybe it doesn't have as much health. Okay, I think after many hours of playing at this point, I have a vision of how this is all going to end up. So this centerpiece here is going to be the place where everyone wants to live. There's going to be markets, there's going to be manors, there's going to be gardens, we already have the bathhouse. It's going to be lovely, but it's also going to be our primary defense. I'm going to be building up the walls incredibly high, and then if we build a ballista tower that high up, it should be able to cover everything. The higher the walls, the more range these get. And since this is in the very center of everything important, it should be able to protect us against the dragons. That's the main thing. Over here, I'm going to be extending the walls out by one, pretty much every direction, and this is going to be our barracks. So we'll actually build a barracks in there, the archers, everything else. It's our military quarter. Then, I'll be removing some of these houses, moving them down here, and moving them into the prime section over here and down here. That way we can start separating all these different districts and making them look a little bit more distinct, rather than the homogeneous Metropolis we currently have. Which, to be fair, is functioning, just it's not very quaint, is it? I just accepted some beer from my allies, and apparently the beer was disgusting. Minus 20 happiness. The plague was less offensive than the beer they brewed. Slight change. Because it looks so pretty in here, what I'm going to do is build all of this into the main residential area. This rectangle. So I'm also going to move the roads down by 1, 2, 3 road. 1, 2, 3. Okay, just by 1. Then destroy this row of housing. That way we can easily fortify this and make it the keep. Housing without any walls around it, major walled off section in the inside which will house the markets and the large taverns and everything else, bringing happiness to those around it, and also then the actual protection, military quarter. Farming, industry. Yes. Okay, so a little bit higher up still. I haven't seen any ogres yet, which has been interesting. Just now starting to build up some of our defenses in the center. Ah, I see him. Oh, is that an ogre? It could be, because... No, it's just a normal one again. Why did it get stuck on the cottage? Interesting. So this is how we're going to set it up. There's going to be 4 of the ballista towers on each quarter, and then each of these flat sections of wall, there are going to be 2 archer towers. Which will admittedly only protect the core against Vikings and such, but most of them seem to go through there anyway. We could always move the treasury into here. No, but eventually I'll be armoring this up anyway. It's fine. Hello, diplomat. What do you want, Kingy? No, we're not giving you anything right now. We are building so much. The first of the large dragons we've ever felled. More meat for our people. At last, I'm allowing our archers to climb the walls. So this will be their default position unless they're needed. Okay, so for now, I'm going to hold off any more towers, just because we are losing a lot of gold right now. We're just about staying afloat. Our churches and libraries are currently struggling, so what I might do... 1, 2... will I have enough space? 1, 2, 3, 4... I don't necessarily need these little bits inside on every corner, so 1, 2, 3, 4... 1, 2, 3... Oh, I can't quite fit the Great Library in here, so I guess that's going to be in the main section over here. Once this is all separated. But though I think I can fit the theatre once we have enough wood. At the moment we don't, because we've just spent loads on all this new housing. There's now housing pretty much completely surrounding these walls. Which is exactly what I wanted. Because that way that could be affected by the large taverns and everything else inside. I'm going to have a theatre in here as well, so all that housing is smushed up against it, which should get all of those bonuses. We have the theatre, which takes all types of food apparently. Consumes wheat, fruit, fish, and meat. But increases happiness by 7 for all in the radius, and yeah, it's a big radius. All of these are affected. I think maybe just the ones here are just about affected. Yep, just about, but all these are affected quite severely. Yeah, plus 5 happiness there. Any houses inside here get the full plus 7. How about you? You're getting plus 7. Okay, that's a lot of extra happiness suddenly. So in this last corner, we still need churches and libraries. So, is there a bigger library than just this? Since we have the chapel and the church, is there a bigger version of the library? Well, other than the Great Library, but that's ridiculous. Maybe let's make a little section here, a clinic, a library, and something else. Oh, well, that's concerning. I've still not seen any ogres, even though they're still being mentioned in some of the defensive stuff. But they do apparently now have a catapult. Okay, well, the catapult gets countered by the ballista, apparently, so yeah. I think our defenses are going just fine. So what I need to do next, then, is because I think the boats can actually eventually have catapults as well, we need to armor up this section. But of course, that's going to happen eventually anyway, since I want this to be its own little region. Ah. Well, that's annoying. Oh, just please deal with this thing. Well, I did burn some stuff down, but we did also get a lot of meat out of that, so dragon steak for days. We're efficient enough at the moment that we have a lot of idle people, so all those idle people I'm going to put to work destroying all of the forests of this island. Except for this strip here, which is going to be managed by the foresters. This way we can start building out here as well. Eventually this will be new farmland as well, similar to over here, just loads of wheat fields and orchards and everything else. We then need to start setting up some more fishing sections, or we could finally expand to the island next to us. If we have a dock here and a dock here, we could easily get all of this fish. That's all I really care about, the fish and the iron, I suppose. We haven't been attacked in ages. The last time they attacked us, we just destroyed their boat. So the main two things we're lacking right now, honestly, are just fish and pork. So, over here, there's a lot of infertile land next to a couple of patches of very fertile. So, what I think I'm going to do is have all of this for pigs. All of this is going to be our swine herds, then a couple of just normal farming areas which will feed our pigs, and thus give us the health we need. We're soon to hit 1,000 people. Our labour force is kind of insane at this point. So I'm building some piers down here because I'm going to be building a fortress here, similar to the fortress over here, but actually a bit more grand. The one over here I think I'm going to scale back. Originally it was going to be military, but now it's going to be purely the production of weapons and tools. Over here is going to be our military on the very tip of the island. Seeing the issue of expanding too quickly before putting defences down. Just stay there for now. Yeah, that fire's going to be a major problem. We haven't even built our wells yet. Okay, next thing to spend all our money on then is putting defences down this little keep. We need our ballista at least. The pigs are finally the right size, so okay, it's gone from 5% to 30% of our population now have access to meat. Vikings are on their way again. I've not been able to do all the defences over here, but at least I've got some walls and some archers on the walls. Really do need a mobile military soon. Lovely, we're at a stage now where the pigs are the right size, so already 62% of our population now have access to meat. Everyone has access to bread, 99% of our people have access to fruit. We have two butchers here as well. And I've made sure to set up markets pretty much everywhere, so as soon as that food's ready, it's being carted out to the entire empire. Meanwhile, over here, I am now building my new archer school. And we have enough stone now to finish off the next layer of this fortress. Or I'm just going to completely miss the actual correct spot and just put it next to it instead as a show of dominance to scare the Vikings. Nothing is scarier than general incompetence. Increases all ballista tower damage by 25%. Yes, please. So I'm not going to be ready with the defenses for this next Viking attack, but I'll definitely be ready for the next dragon attack. Trying to build up these side towers as fast as I can. Okay, the boats definitely have catapults now. Oh, there we go, the very first ogre, and it's going to be the section where I don't have any ballistas. Ah, well, could have gone better. I'm surprised how long it took for the ogres to finally show up. Last time I played, they arrived pretty early, just in small numbers. Ooh, get away from there, please, otherwise you're going to be killed. Yeah, we are going to be losing some archers here. Hopefully they'll just walk into the center after this attack. If we had the ballistas up, this wouldn't have been a problem at all. Huh. Why are you stuck? Their brains just went pop. Now I just feel kind of meat. There we go. Yeah, what was wrong with that one in front? I wish there was a repair all button. Yeah, the blisters utterly obliterated them, but wow, that was horrible. Can archers just not shoot at boats? Well, this is new, and I wish I knew it earlier. It would have helped out just then. Hazard pay. Costs 50 gold to start up. All military forces inflict double damage for 4 times the upkeep cost. And I assume I can also turn it off. We could have had double damage that entire time. Would have saved a lot of stuff. Ooh, hello. I haven't seen an attack from our neighbour in a long time. If we get too close, I'll be shot down by the ballistas. Yep, maybe that's been happening this entire time. I just haven't been noticing. We'll have to attack them soon. You may notice the amount of transport ships I've recently built. And soon I'm going to be building my own siege weapons, once the defences are up here. Wow, so that's what the blue dragons do. They can attack stone. Well, lesson learned. Need more protection than we put down here. I was hoping 4 would be enough, but apparently not. Just repair those two, thank you. I also need to test out this, the Greek fire emplacement. What's the range on this thing if it's on top? Not very good, okay, so maybe I won't be using those against the dragons. The ogres are so much stronger than I remember. Wow, once again, just breaking right through. Note to self, more layers are needed. Trying to funnel all the Vikings into just one section, it seems to work pretty well. That was a lot cleaner. Really should have been doing that from the start, honestly. So I'm going to build one large tower over here for a few more ballistas, and then that's going to be... Wait, is ballistas? No, that's not how you plural ballista. Well, I've been saying that the entire video, so people are going to be very annoyed. Either way, I'm going to be building a ballista tower over here, and then that'll cover the entire south section of our island. Wait, I said south. Where is north? This way's north, the very east end of our island. We have 1,000 people. People are lucky to have me as their king, apparently. Our main building has grew because I'm starting to build the Great Hall. I'm also building a new large treasure room finally, and I'm slowly removing all the buildings around this. Moving them all outwards to these two areas over here. I am building a new bathhouse because apparently this one's now too crowded, and I'm about to start work, as soon as I can figure out where I actually want it, on the Great Library. I'm tempted to have it here, next to the water, because it'll be pretty, and then have a huge garden in front of it between it and the main castle. It will please very few people, but it will please me, and in the end, isn't that what's important when you're king? Beautiful tapestries. These will hang inside your keep to help decorate the place. Didn't seem to do much. Oh no, actually says there, beautiful tapestries hang from the walls. I was unaware regular Vikings could in fact attack walls. Thankfully we have enough here that wasn't too much of an issue. We are also now starting to build catapults, so soon we are going to attack our neighbours. We finally landed on the enemy's territory. It seems like the very southernmost point of their empire isn't particularly well defended. Now realising I forgot to build swordsmen. I built the barracks and then forgot to build them. Well, that could have been better. But still, okay, that's all their forces gone. Let's start attacking the buildings. Naturally, the very first thing I attack is a hospital, because apparently war crimes is a thing I do in these games. That's it, just stay at maximum range, deal damage, and then move up. We're probably not going to win outright, but at least we're going to attack this section. Move back, move back. There's a tower there. I don't want to fight both the tower and the enemies. Wait for them to move forwards. And charge. Wow, catapults do a lot of damage versus archers. I know that makes sense, but for some reason I thought they'd be only good versus buildings. Wow. Okay, note to self, more melee and also more catapults. Let's attack them. Well, good to know for the future. For the last, like, 10 or 20 years, honestly, not all that much has happened. Lots of attacks, though. The Vikings are getting a bit ridiculous. At one point, I think I had, like, 6 ogres over here, which was not the best. On the upside, though, I am building up my forces. I'm going to try and attack our neighbour again very soon. Since last time, honestly, we almost broke through. And now I actually understand a few of the mechanics a bit better. I think I'll do better. Just going to make some archers to back up all of our footmen and our catapults. Over here, we are now building up a wall. So what's happening now is the Vikings are essentially attacking 2 areas each time. Here, because they can land, and over here, because they can land. It seems like they just go for any major area where they can try and spread out, and apparently this counts. They don't like attacking this section, though, for some reason. Maybe it's just because it's further away. I don't quite get how their AI decides where to attack. If I could figure that out, we could really choke point them, which would be really useful. But for now, just going to keep on building everything up, whilst I slowly build up my armed forces. Finally building our little colony here next to a stone deposit. It's amazing with how much stone we have, we just constantly need more. It's just definitely one of the most valuable resources in this game. Don't know how I'm actually going to protect this, to be completely honest, but we'll see how it goes. I'm hoping that the enemy's attacks scale on the size of the colony, so because we're a tiny colony, we don't get too much. We have built ourselves the jousting arena. So this requires armaments, food in the form of wheat, and food in the form of fruit. Though it does create a lot of extra happiness. The people were simply demanding one, so there we go. I'm guessing the ones nearby are going to have lots of happiness. Yeah, lots of bonuses there. Nearby theatre, nearby jousts, everything then. Further away, is that still affected by the jousting? A little bit. Okay, didn't really have all that much space. I was originally going to build it in here, but I thought we do need more happiness for our main population centre. I've launched another attack against our neighbours. We've already decimated their forces, and now we're breaking our way in. I think what I really need is just more catapults. The catapults just seem generally the best thing. Could you please scout ahead for me? That'd be great. Maybe set fire to some things, be annoying. Where is their keep? Well, that's that archery stuff, so maybe we should go for that next. Down goes one of the archery towers, now moving on to the next. Yeah, next time I'm just going to really spam the siege weapons. They just seem so good. Even against other units, the only thing they seem to have a real problem with is enemy footmen. Ooh, that's their keep! Interesting. Okay, so we want our ground forces here, our normal soldiers, I should say, purely as distractions. Go. Take some of the fire for me. Can we attack their diplomats? Can I, for 1 second, stop trying to commit war crimes? If this goes down, what happens? And I put the fires out, which were spread by our footmen. Oh, that's so much health. Okay, so next time, definitely more siege weapons. Well, saying that, we still have 5 of these, 4 now. It's taking a long time for them to take us out. But I still don't think we'll win. Okay, let's just attack something else and let's back off. Let's not lose all of our siege weapons. Say goodbye to your second treasure room. Our people are incredibly upset. Our churches and libraries are too crowded, and our taverns are also apparently too crowded already. I think the keep needs a large tavern. Yeah, like a fancy one here for anyone visiting the capital. The Grand Cathedral is being built. How big a radius is this? Still not affecting... see, I really want them over here, but I really want to build up this capital and have everything amazing here. So we can have loads of gardens and a few very, very happy houses. Oh, the dragons are going to wreak havoc now. I've taken out their few ballista, and I've also taken all their soldiers. That's unfortunate. The Viking invasions are getting a lot more fearsome. We need some proper anti-infantry at this point. I've also just lost a few catapults. I took a few more catapults over, then the Viking attack was so vicious I ended up losing all of the ones I added. So I still just have this little garrison in the middle, still causing chaos. Like, eventually I'll win, because the ballista will wear them down, but wow. Definitely stuff I need to do there. The attack begins anew. Sadly, I did end up losing all of our forces to the last Viking raid of all things, but I'm rebuilding a lot faster than before. In fact, so much so, I kind of started losing money because of just how much of our army was taking. So, over here, we've built our cathedral, we've built the first ever of our towers, which apparently increases happiness a little bit, and then we're going to have a little bit of housing just in this quadrant. So, very expensive housing there, next to the keep, and next to the Grand Cathedral. Other than that, we still need to build the Grand Library, which is going to be over here somewhere. How big is the Grand Library exactly? Not as big as I thought, actually. So there's the entrance. I don't want to remove that cemetery. I like having the cemetery there next to the statue. Yeah, maybe the library won't be in here. Maybe the library will be out here to please the masses. I am going to scale back on our charcoal production soon, so maybe the Grand Library can go here with just a little bit of garden around it, so it's nice and pretty. It'll affect both of these residential areas. Over here, I've been slowly building up this section. We're about to start producing our own stone, which will be lovely. We have a dock, we have a town square, we have our first manor. This is just a very quaint little village at the moment. This time with some footmen, so we can also set this thing alight. Actually, the footmen do a really good job damaging this thing. Massively underestimated that. Who knew? Fire was effective. I just thought since it was stone, it'd be a bit more impervious to this, but no. Plus, they're just being a fantastic distraction, since they seem to take less damage from arrows, or maybe they just have more health. This conflict is over. So, I may let them rule here, or I may exile them. Does that mean I actually take over the island? Because the island is kind of ruined, I've got to be honest. I already have 2 major islands. I don't really care about ruling you. I just wanted this war to be over and to have a bit of a laugh at you. So you may stay ruler. You accept defeat. And you must never demand tribute from me again. You should be embarrassed. Instead, you'll give us gifts instead. Of course. Victory! No more attacking our now friendly neighbour. Oh, the keep's downgraded all the way as well. Oh, they've got a lot of rebuilding to do. The Grand Library is down. I decided to put it here after all. I've made a little lake next to it because I think it looks cute. We have our keep, of course, looking glorious. We're still going to keep the main graveyard here. I'll try and spruce it up a little bit. We have our main tavern. And now I think just some housing and maybe a statue or two. And the perfect place to live will be in the very centre of the empire, well, the capital. Main residential, capital, main farming, secondary residential, and then just a scattering of things here and there, with our military goods being produced over here, and our military itself being trained in the grand keep of the corner. And we now have just started to produce stone in this tiny little colony, which is being traded back and forth automatically by our transport vessels. That will help to feed our expansion going forwards. I'm getting very close to saying we're done, honestly. The last Viking attack was also completely repelled with no losses. I've sent over one of my diplomats. Let's have a chat. The Vikings caused some damage during the last raid. We know they'll be back. Could you send some troops to help? Yes, we actually will. You want to be allies now? Well, that's interesting. Yeah, we have beat them into submission, and now they're completely accepting of us, even though they secretly don't like us, thanks to this very secret bar here saying very unfavourable. I have a request. I invite your people to settle in my kingdom. I formally demand you pay tribute. No, we'll just leave that. What else would we like to talk about? We'd like to talk trade. What of trade? Let us trade between our 2 kingdoms. Will you open your docks for our merchants? Nope, but we just have the military alliance to begin with. Okay, then. Goodbye. Maybe I'll make a gift next time. Let's see if we can get into their good graces finally. Back to the, what's it called? The thing of diplomacy? I haven't done that much diplomacy during this run. It's been mostly heavy-handed. The capital walls are going to look striking in the background. In fact, everything looks kind of cool right now. We've definitely got to that point where things are looking really, really interesting. So what I'm going to have is the 2 back towers here, one shorter than the 2 front towers. There's the obvious tower I'm building here, then I'm also going to build one here. So we're going to have 4 total. With this one, though, at the back being the main one, this way we can shoot down any Vikings which are going this way to get to our more vulnerable sections of the island. It's going to hold an immense amount of ballista. I think finally we should add some of the Greek fire emplacements. I haven't really added them yet, but I imagine they're going to be really good versus boats, etc. And I think the boats are going to come just close enough that we can use these against them. They're probably also really good against ogres, so maybe I should think about putting them elsewhere as well. Yes, go on. My favourite niece started brewing beer recently. She's very talented at it already. Oh, the last time we accepted this from the other king, they ended up, I think, potentially poisoning us. Really? Wow! Excellent, that's wonderful. Sure, we will. We'll start brewing some beer. Wonderful, we'll take it. Hopefully your niece is a better brewer than the king's niece. And yes, plus 10. Lovely. The peasants really, really enjoy the new beer in our taverns. So it is a random chance then if it's a toxic mess or delicious. Food was a problem briefly, but now it is back increasing, yet by over 200 each year. I don't think I'm going to increase my population much past here. We still have 73 beds. This area is definitely the most vulnerable, though it is being covered by a lot of these ballistas, so at least it's not too bad. Over here, we're about to add the final ballistas, and I'm also starting to build some of the fire emplacements. Really curious to see how those do. We have some housing now, adding some more little sections of garden. In fact, I'm going to remove the stone road and to turn all that into garden, because it looks nicer, to be honest. I even have a tiny little orchard in here, because, well, it's pretty. No other real reason. It's so far away from all the food stuff, it's going to be a problem to actually harvest, but oh well. What else do I want in here? I mean, I think I have everything we really need. Okay, remove those 4 pieces of the cemetery not being used, and that can become the next statue. Do I still want to go with the dragon, or maybe a queen? Yeah, sure, let's go with the queen statue instead. Then a little bit more housing over here. Maybe doubling up the wall here and there? Not too sure. Why do I have a random... Okay, you can go away. I'm trying to remove all of the catapults now. We don't really have much use for them. We have 2 allies now, no enemies. And the catapults are a bit difficult to use versus Viking invasions. Yeah, I think I'll double up the wall in some places, or at least add a smaller wall to the front just to give it a bit of texture. For now, let's just make it into 2. It's really pretty. I am actually very happy with how this thing looks. It all looks segmented, it all looks proper. Yeah. Meanwhile, this is adorable, and I'm going to build some tiny defense towers and leave this as it is. It's producing its own food, and it's producing stone. That's all I wanted. Why didn't I build those sooner? Look how cool that is! And wow, yeah, it does a lot of damage to even these more heavily armored ships. Come on, get a little bit closer. Thank you. I am curious to see how good it is versus the infantry. And the ogres. Maybe I should build one more large tower here so we can start catching more of these boats on the way in. Oh, that's just mean. So as these go past, they just fire their catapults. That's going to be really irritating to try and protect against. Okay, yeah, we've put some archers here, and we now have more archer towers, so landing enemies aren't going to do too much damage. Still some, but less. Far less. What even was that attack? It was just an immense amount of enemies. Yeah, no idea what I meant to do over here then. Since we have so many ships just sailing past, they're going to take out the defences of this little colony each and every time. But I think because we don't have the treasury and stuff, they're not actually landing to attack. So I'll just not build up defences then. Yeesh. Okay, we clearly still need a bit more defence on this side. Well, at least we're no longer very unfavourable, just unfavourable. That's it, they're just happy. Excellent. That's because we kept our soldiers on their territory during the last Viking attack. So I've built up 2 rows of ballista here. I've also started to reinforce more over here because it seems like this is a section they love attacking. This section is already quite well protected just because it's in the middle of everything else. Though I think maybe it just needs a little bit of extra protection. We can easily build some piers and build something there. But here's the problem. It's starting to get very expensive. I'm now on a 40% tax rate. Thankfully, we have so many positive things in our capital. People are decently happy, though I do need to build a new bathhouse, apparently, because ours are too busy. Oh! That's why. Because this one got cut off. That would explain it then. We now have some fine rugs in our keep. Beautiful. Don't actually need too much stuff. I guess I'll just buy some stone and some extra tools. We are actually... Oh no, we are running low on tools. Don't know how that managed to happen, so I'll just buy 350 now, and that'll deal with our tool usage for a very long time. There's just so many ships now. Trying to remove them all is just nigh impossible. Oh, so now you're going to attack over here. Interesting. Okay, they're now in the range of these ballista. Again, they're not great versus just the standard soldiers, but still. I really need to figure out how to force them to land in certain areas. Still, they'll be removed pretty quickly. We have a lot of anti-everything pretty much everywhere. Just need some more archery stuff, I think. Just normal archer towers now. They wish to participate in our jousting tournament. Certainly, let's see how they do. We won't let them win. Let the games begin. I hope no one gets hurt. Oh dear. Well done, you win. Indeed, what a show. And that's it, just a nice little bit of happiness. They're currently unhappy with us because we keep on telling them that I don't really want to fund every single project of theirs. They're constantly asking for more stuff, and I'm constantly saying no. Going to build a set of archer towers along this, which will super protect all this section. Then a couple over here. We do have the gold for it, thankfully. Meanwhile, back in the very weird little colony, we have our new forester and we have a charcoal maker. I think we actually need some more people, funnily enough. So as soon as we have the wood for that, I'm gonna start adding some more houses. It's so tiny. Oh, look at that. Not all libraries could do that, right? I'm not going mad here. No, it's just the Great Library. So you can tithe to the cathedral. Not that I think that actually does anything to the game. But then there's also the Great Library, which allows you to research all the options you get from merchants. The only one that's left I don't really care about too much, but still, wish I knew that earlier. I would have rushed that building, because some of those bonuses are really good. There's just an absurd amount of ships now attacking each time. I wish I could tell them what to focus on as well. So yeah, I definitely think it's a good idea building up another tower or two over here. It seems like the majority of ships that go this way don't end up in our territory because they're coming from this direction and then go past. Well, at least we're going to get to see fire against infantry here. If it can fire on them. Oh, that's deadly. Okay, good. So fire is definitely more of an anti-infantry thing rather than anti-boat. So over here was fine. Yeah, I think I've just reinforced the wrong areas somewhat. Though, I will say, now we've just added some of these fire stations, we are a lot less friendly to the Vikings. Look at that, it just removes whole groups each time. Honestly, this whole fight's gone a lot better than the last time. It still isn't perfect, but we're getting there. Since I'm not increasing my population, I don't believe I'm increasing the size of the attacks either, so it's just a matter now of perfecting our defense. The fire towers are fantastic, I wish I used them earlier. This corner over here needs more protection. This corner, annoyingly, doesn't need all that much. But it's where my capital is, so... yeah. You have the sheer amount of archer towers here, all very high level, and the fact they're all trying to disembark on this very small section. They're not doing great. Oh, the first one to actually break free from that. Oh, I just saw one of my flame towers activate, so goodbye. Yeah, maybe a flame tower in this corner would be just wonderful. Or two. That would have stopped them getting through 100%. Still, they're not getting very far. They're just getting picked off. Over here, I'm building a huge tower, which is going to house 4 more of our ballista, which will hopefully take out a few more boats. Getting closer. That was, in comparison to some of the previous attacks, that was pretty clean. We haven't actually lost a building. Ultimately, we lost nothing, except for a lot of our time, and a bit of damage here and there on a few buildings, but not actually losing a building, so I will say that's a success. It's funny how much we are protecting our neighbours just by having all these defences here. So they've gone for more troops, but the problem is you lose so many troops and it's so annoying to replace them. And I always prefer static defences, but maybe that's a mistake. Okay, despite now going up to 50% tax, which is paying for all of our defense, including the new defenses I've just put down, our people are happy. They're above 70, so people are still coming to join our town. It's an expensive place to live, but a very well-protected one. Since we lost no lives in the last Viking attack, I'm going to stay around for one more, and if I, once again, get either no losses or very, very few, I would say our island is complete. And I'm really happy with it, honestly. Wow, that is brutal. They're all really heading directly towards here? No, I was going to say, they normally don't even land there. Oh, no, they actually might be. Oh, come on, I just super protected this corner. Does the AI figure out where you're protecting and try and avoid them? I'm starting to think maybe it does. I thought it was more just pathing towards food and gold, because that's what they should go towards. Still, with the sheer amount of firepower we have, they don't last long here. Hey, diplomat, let's talk to you while we're currently at war. Oh yeah, you want us to start trading with you. I lost a merchant ship recently. I'll rebuild it for you as well. I mean, they attacked somewhere I didn't want them to attack, and I still didn't lose any people. No minuses. In fact, we got extra happiness, which means I can raise taxes briefly. Also, our food looks lower at the moment. That's just because we have more houses. As you can see, total change is still increasing each year. Oh, we need more pork. Why? Oh, we don't have enough workers for the... Oh, because I'm building so much right now, that's why. Also, I've just realised I also have a lot of these defences, which are taking up jobs. What do I do then? I mean, our people are healthy enough. We have 2 giant hospitals, so I don't think there's too many major issues. Oh, dear. We actually sent some of our soldiers over here to help. Apparently that wasn't enough. Yeah, both our allies are having a really rough time. We're fine, honestly. I think I should move the archers up to here, though. Okay, I've changed some of the jobs around, so now people are once again working in our swine herds. We once again have people working in the fishing industry because both of those lost all their jobs, and now everything should be a bit better. Now what I can do is turn off some of these when they're not in use. Now this will mean they don't get experience. Oh, but I do like how strong they are. Yeah, the easy option would just be turning off, for instance, the ballista towers when we're not under attack. Will they lose skill? Let's find out. So, where is it? There we are, the ballista workers. Boom, they're all gone. Did they lose all of it instantly? Is that actually how this is going to work? So let's reactivate them. That's interesting. It went down. I am starting to think maybe we should strategically turn some of them off, though. The ones which aren't used very often, only turn those on if they're needed. Still, these are all very minor problems we can fix. Well, that was an easy fix then. So outside of the simple fact we don't have enough food storage, we are now making more than enough. Our pigs are growing once again, at least most of them are. Our fishing industry is back up, so our health is increasing. things are looking even better for our people. I've turned off stone production for the time being. Hello there. He is liking us less and less and less. I really like all your gardens. Your kingdom looks really beautiful. Thank you. I didn't realise how lovely one could look. The king is here talking about how much he loves our gardens. You should definitely build more gardens. I highly recommend them. On top of that, we now have our fishing industry back up and running, and we are now growing pigs once again, so things are looking fine. Our health is increasing, our happiness is now a steady like 67. We could increase that quite easily, but I think we have a good balance right now is the thing. Let me tell you of the story of how I became ruler. My brother was on the throne first. He was the oldest. He ruled for some years. Did you two get along well? No, we didn't see eye to eye on very much. You thought you could do better? Yes, I always wanted to be in charge. I'm more suited to the demands of the throne. So what happened to him? One night, he was eating a fine dinner. I don't like the face you're pulling currently. Then hours later, he became deathly ill. Before I knew it, I was on the throne, leading our kingdom back to glory. Let's say I'm glad you have a strong ruler. Thank you, a silver lining for them. It is sad, of course, his death, but one must also seize opportunities as they come. It is better for the kingdom in the end. This concludes our ruler's message. What a lovely conversation. There we go. Land where I want you to this time. The long reload of the fire emplacements is a bit brutal. And they also don't have charcoal. Do I have to be reloaded manually with charcoal each time? I mean, either way, the enemies are just being funneled to their death, especially if they go down this route. They set fire to a few fields, but the fields are repaired before they even get fully damaged, so yeah, that was an absolute neat success. Stored ready to use, 7 out of 75. No, that's not being stored enough. I did turn off charcoal production a little bit for a while. Clearly that was a mistake. I didn't realise just how fast they burn through all that charcoal. So next time these would even be better. I would say that was one of our most successful raids in a while. Our people are happy at this. Oh no, some of our troops passed away. Oh no, I left troops over on the other islands. That's what happened. I was going to say, I have no idea how troops over here got killed. They're all on the walls. Peace has been forced upon all three of our nations via force in one case and via economic superiority over the other. We own the next island and can do with it what we wish. Eventually we'll expand into iron, but for now we have stone and fruit being produced and transferred over to the main kingdom. We have a thriving economy, although our gold is a little bit here and there. We can of course continue to sell charcoal, which has been fantastic. We can also sell stone, our additional iron. We have loads to keep us running. Our people are happy, our people are healthy, and things are only looking up from here. So with that, I think Utopia is done. Now, we could of course continue forever and try to optimize things more. Obviously, having things like the cathedral and the grand library over here is not great. That should be in the more residential districts. The farms could be a bit more efficient. There's lots we could do, but I just love the layout of how we've built this. So I'm happy to say this is Utopia, and Utopia is finished. So with that, thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed today's video, then of course, likes, favourites, shares, comments, all that good stuff helps out me, helps out the channel, and most importantly, shows that kingdoms and castles is something you would like to see more of in the future. Also, please bear in mind, we could of course come back to this with higher difficulty enemies and the higher difficulty mode, because sadly, I think the randomizer may have put one of these on easy and one on normal. It's hard to say. But I really think they could be a lot more challenging and a lot more aggressive. So with that, goodbye.